Welcome back to Bible Time. Today we're going to do Genesis chapter 30. Now, where we left off was that Jacob he ended up marrying Leah by accident and ended up then getting Rachel after another 7 years of hard labor. So he worked 14 years for two wives. Rachel was the love of his life. Leah, however, ended up giving him 4 sons, while Rachel ended up being barren. And the reason was because Jacob hated Leah and he loved Rachel. So this was kind of like just the way things ended up playing out for him because of those things. So, chapter 30. When Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children, and I'm sorry, I have a cat on my lap, so you see her poke up. She loves Bible time, and I'm not going to stop her from that. If I dig out the Bible, this cat has to be on my lap. Oh, English Standard Version is the version I'm reading, and names and places, forgive me if I say them wrong. I'm not a theologist. I'm just trying to make it through this journey of the Bible before I die and taking you with me. So, enjoy the trip. Not everything's going to be perfect. So when Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children, she envied her sister. She said to Jacob, "Give me children, or I shall die." Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, "Am I in the place of God, who has withheld you from the fruit of the womb?" Typical male response. Sorry. I'm sorry, but this would be a normal everyday fight. Just like, give me kids. I'm not God. Rachel, tell me this hasn't happened in your home. I mean, well, not those exact words, but arguments reflecting that. I love the Bible. It's great. On we go. Then she said, "Here is my servant Bilhah. Go into her, so that she may give birth on my behalf, that even I may have children through her." So she gave him her servant and Bilhah as a wife. And Jacob went into her, and Bilhah conceived and bore Jacob a son. Then Rachel said, "God has judged me, and has also heard my voice and given me a son." Therefore she called his name Dan. All these difficult names in the Bible, and she names him Dan. Just Dan. Sorry to all the Dans out there. But every Bible name I've tried to read thus far has been quite a stretch. And now we get Dan. It's like Bob, Bill. Old Testament time, thousands and thousands of years ago. Dan. Not Danielle. Dan. Okay. I'm enjoying it. Let's learn how to have fun with the Bible. Okay, God does not mind. As long as he knows we're reading it and we're absorbing it. Okay, and we're relating to it. He likes that we're just doing this. He does not care if we have commentaries. It's me just trying to justify my actions. Forgive me. Alright, on we go. So then, chapter 30, verse 7 is where we left off. Rachel's servant Bilhah conceived again and bore Jacob a second son. It's like the Price is Right. Then Rachel said, "With mighty wrestlings I have wrestled with my sister and have prevailed." So she called his name Naphtali. Okay, now she's catching up with the game here. But she thinks she's beating her sister and having kids now. So this is like turning into a sibling war where who can have more sons with Jacob. What is with people? I think people still do that. There's the wife and the mistress who can have more children. Anyway, I digress. When Leah saw that she had ceased bearing children, she took her servant Zilpah and gave her to Jacob as a wife. Jacob's got to be sitting there going, "I'm the man. I am the man." These women all want my babies. Forgive me, but modern day, could you even imagine? Here. Okay, I can't have kids anymore. I have kids with my servant. No, so I can have more children. Because the more children I have, the more you're going to love me, right? I think we can see us back in this time. Having more children with men does not make them love you more. Jacob wasn't even worried about child support here that we have to worry about nowadays. If Jacob was in the modern day man, he'd be like, I have no more kids with no money, I can't afford this. I love taking Old Testament and putting it in modern day versions because it's so out of whack of where we are. I'm in a mood today. Just forgive me. I'm in a mood. Okay, so now Leah's handing over her servant. Then Leah's servant Zilpah bore Jacob a son. And Leah said, good fortune has come. So she called his name Gad, G-A-D. So now she must be trying to copy Rachel's child's name, Dan. We're sticking the 3-letter words. I see it. I see where they're still competing now in names. Leah's servant Zilpah bore Jacob a second son. And Leah said, happy am I, for women have called me happy. So she called his name Asher. Expanded a little. I don't understand is women being so excited about their husband having sex with another woman and she's giving birth and you're just stealing her children. I'm not quite sure how to comprehend that. Okay. Oh, so let's just not try and move on. In the days of wheat harvest, Reuben went and found mandrakes in the field and brought them to his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, please give me some of your son's mandrakes. But she said to her, Leah, it is a small matter that you have taken away my husband. Would you take away my son's mandrakes also? Rachel said, this is turning into a cat fight. And I feel like I'm gossiping. This was like gossip. Leah said, well then Rachel said. Now Leah said, are we not supposed to gossip? But this feels like gossip. Doesn't it not feel like gossip? God better have a good reason for making me gossip. Anyway, Rachel said, then he may lie with you tonight in exchange for your son's mandrakes. When Jacob came from the field in the evening, Leah went out to meet him and said, she's probably really excited. I wonder what his reaction is going to be. He was just sold for some mandrakes for sex. Rachel pimped him for mandrakes. I'm sorry, I shouldn't, I know. You guys are thinking I'm making a mockery of this. I'm not. It is funny. Come on. She picked them for mandrakes. They weren't very ethical back then is all I can say. When Jacob came from the field in the evening, Leah went out to meet him and said, you must come in to me, for I have hired you with my son's mandrakes. I bought you, Jacob. I can't. I just can't. So he lay with her that night. It's like, okay. So I'm having sex with you. And God listened to Leah, and she conceived and bore Jacob a 5th son. Leah said, God has given me my wages because I gave my servant to my husband. So she called his name Issachar. And Leah conceived again, and she bore Jacob a sixth son. Then Leah said, God has endowed me with a good endowment. Now my husband will honor me, because I have borne him 6 sons. So she called his name Zebulun. Afterward she bore a daughter, and called her name Dinah. Now, do not forget Dinah. Do you notice? She's bearing all these sons, and there's never been a girl. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but they didn't list a lot of female names, unless that female was going to be very important later in the story. They had female children. The females didn't matter, so they did not list most of them. It was the sons that mattered. Then she had Dinah. And Dinah plays a very big role later on. I know her story, so just remember her. Then God remembered Rachel, and God listened to her and opened her womb. She conceived and bore a son and said, God has taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph, saying, May the Lord add to me another son. As soon as Rachel had borne Joseph, Jacob said to Laban, Send me away. Send me away. Get me out of here. There's too many kids. I can't keep doing this. Laban, your daughter's wearing me out. Both of them. Okay, I'm filling in words here. But can you imagine? It sounds like Kelgon, take me away. Send me away. That I may go to my own home and country. Give me my wives. Oh, he's going to take them with. What a sweet guy. So, okay, he's not exhausted of his wives. Give me my wives and my children for whom I have served you, that I may go, for you know the service that I have given you. But Laban said to him, If I have found favor in your sight, I have learned by divination that the Lord has blessed me because of you. Name your wages, and I will give it. Jacob said to him, Gossip again. You yourself know how I have served you, and how your livestock has fared with me. For you had little before I came, and it has increased abundantly. And the Lord has blessed you wherever I turned. But now, when shall I provide for my own household also? He said, What shall I give you? Jacob said, You shall not give me anything. If you will do this for me, I will again pasture your flock and keep it. Let me pass through all your flock today, removing from it every speckled and spotted sheep and every black lamb, and the spotted and the speckled among the goats, and they shall be my wages. So my honesty will answer for me later, when you come to look into my wages with you. Every one that is not speckled and spotted among the goats, and black among the lambs, if found with me, shall be counted stolen. Laban said, Good, let it be as you've said. But that day Laban removed the male goats that were striped and spotted, and all the female goats that were speckled and spotted, every one that had white on it, and every lamb that was black, and put them in the charge of his sons. What a dirty rascal. He's doing this on purpose to not let Jacob leave. And he set a distance of 3 days' journey between himself and Jacob pastured the rest of Laban's flock. Then Jacob took fresh sticks of poplar and almond and plane trees, and peeled white sticks in them, exposing the white of the sticks. He set the sticks that he had peeled in front of the flocks in the troughs, that is, the watering places, where the flocks came to drink. And since they bred when they came to drink, the flocks bred in front of the sticks. And so the flocks brought forth striped, speckled, and spotted. And Jacob separated the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks toward the striped, and all the black in the flock of Laban. He put down his own droves apart, and did not put them with Laban's flock. Whenever the stronger of the flock were breeding, Jacob would lay the sticks in the troughs before the eyes of the flock, that they might breed among the sticks. But for the feebler of the flock, he would not lay them there. So the feebler would be Laban's, and the stronger Jacob's. Thus the man increased greatly, and had large flocks, female servants and male servants, and camels and donkeys. Took it all. Way to go, Jacob. This guy's got some stamina, I'm telling you. I mean, well, we all kind of knew that. I mean, I think that was maybe part of the reason of telling us about all of this competition with his wives. The guy's got some brains and some stamina, too. So even when Laban tried tricking him a third time, because the first time, remember, he worked 7 years, ended up with Leah, had to work another 7 years just to get Rachel, who he wanted in the first place. Now the guy tried taking all the lamb and sheep out so he couldn't leave, but he found a way to breed them, or get them to breed, so that they would come out speckled, spotted, black. He was that smart. Laban didn't know. His father-in-law basically just was too dumb in the breeding, where Jacob had studied this. He paid attention. And he says, okay, you're going to play that game? That's fine. And then he also could separate the ones that he was breeding and going to take with him, being the stronger of the flock versus the weaker. So he left the weaker animals with his father-in-law. And now he's going to have all of this for himself and his wives. So it looks like Jacob is going to get out of here. We're going to find out next time we come together and read chapter 31. That was exciting, though. We're only in Genesis. You do realize that. We have an entire Bible to get through. We haven't made it through the first book yet. So I look forward to it. I hope you do too. And sorry about my commentaries, but I can't help it. It helps me understand the Bible a little better and have fun with it. I don't think God wants me to be bored. So I'm going to enjoy my time with God, and that's what I would say if I was around him anyway. So what's the difference? All right. See you later. Love you. Bye.